Welcome to the Fit for Any Battle podcast. This is episode number 7. I am 1 week away from chemotherapy number 3 in my battle against an aggressive form of prostate cancer. For those of you just tuning in to the podcast, I have been going through a 3-month battle with aggressive prostate cancer that started with an elevated prostate stimulating antigen or PSA number that led me to a urologist who checked a MRI of my prostate area, my whole area, including my prostate. That followed up with a biopsy, which was no fun whatsoever. That followed up with surgery to remove my prostate. And that followed up with us identifying an aggressive form of prostate cancer that required both chemotherapy and radiation treatment. And I have had 2 of my 6 chemotherapy appointments. I have my 3rd next Wednesday. I'm recording this on Saturday, the 11th. And so in just a few days, I'll be having chemotherapy number 3, and I will be halfway done with chemotherapy, and I feel great. I feel strong. It may be the prednisone that they're giving me. That steroid is allowing me to lift a lot of weights at the gym. However, with 0, and we checked it the other day, and it was imperceptible, the amount of testosterone I have in my body. Without any testosterone in my body, I'm getting stronger through chemotherapy treatment. The other thing to keep in mind is with chemotherapy comes hair loss. And so you'll notice that today I have my hair up. I have it in a ponytail. I wanted to give you a sense of what it looks like on a regular day. If I lean down, you can really tell how scraggly my beard is. The easiest way for a beard to be tested is we put a little bit of light behind it. And as you can see, there is a lot less hair in my beard than there was. I probably lost about 2/3. However, it still looks like a beard. It's not the prettiest thing. However, I want to be transparent to you on how things go. My hair on the top, you'll notice, it has not performed as well as one would have hoped. However, I have hair. It looks good. I'm able to maintain that, and the hair loss has stopped. I still have my eyebrows, my eyelashes. I have the hair on my arms and my body. So hair loss has not been a guarantee with Taxotere. I believe the cold capping that I'm doing is helping. We will see that at the end of 4 more sessions of chemotherapy, which will make it the full 6, after which I'll do 2 months of daily radiation therapy. So up next, we are going to jump into some of the therapeutics that I'm doing at home to recover from all the exercise I'm doing. So stay tuned. The sponsor for today's Fit for Any Battle podcast is Update Everyone. Going through cancer treatment has been really tough. Keeping everybody in my support group updated has all of its own challenges. With Update Everyone, they assign me a telephone number, and I send a simple text message to that phone number with an update on how things are going. They then send it to every single person in my support group without me having to do a thing. No more Twitter messages, no more Instagram messages, no more Facebook messages, no more Facebook posts, not even a simple SMS to every single person on my support group. So with Update Everyone, I send one message and I get back to healing. You can too. Go to updateeveryone.com. I've told you about all of the exercise that I've been doing lately. Well, I've been doing it for years, but I've really stepped up the game. So on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I do a bike ride. Friday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I'm at the gym lifting. And that leaves just Saturday. In fact, I'm recording this on a Saturday. I take Saturday off from weightlifting and biking. However, that doesn't mean that I take it off from exercise, because I was talking to my oncologist, Beth Hellerstedt, the other day, and I told her in a check-in, I feel great. I feel 110%. I'm actually getting stronger through chemotherapy treatment. She was a bit surprised. She was super happy for me. And one of the things that she said is we need more stories like this, because when people know that they're going to have chemotherapy, they believe they're going to feel ill from it. They believe they're not going to want to get up from off the couch. And so she says, oftentimes, that's what they do. They stay on the couch. And having stayed on the couch on a Saturday, I can tell you, the wave of yuck that comes from chemotherapy comes while we're laying down. And so the best thing to do is to get up and move. Now, with significant biking, I've been biking on a single speed BMX bike. So we're sitting up, right, with our arms out. We are not tucked in, riding a road bike really fast. I mean, we're talking 3 hours of exercise. And when I'm riding up the hills in Austin, especially since I had my prostate out, I have less incontinence issues if I stay seated. So I've been seated, riding up hills, mashing my legs, and building up a lot of really good strength in them. But with strength comes soreness, and we need to focus on recovery. So let me tell you about some of the things that I use for recovery. One of the things that I use is this thing called a Tendlite, Tendlite. It is a super bright red light. The way that I use this red light therapy is if I have a joint, let's say my wrist, that's hurting, I will turn on the light. And as you can see, it is shining a red light deep into the muscle tissue, deep down to the bone area. And I hold it there for a minute. And after a minute, the light turns off. And then what I'll do is I'll pick it up, I'll move it just a little bit, and I'll turn it back on. And by doing this, it actually increases the blood flow in our tendons. And as we age, there's less and less blood flow coming into our tendons. That also means that there's less fresh oxygen coming into those tendons. That blood flow is critical for our healing process. And so based on things that'll hurt, I'll throw it on my shoulder, I'll throw it on my knee, I'll throw it on my elbow, I'll throw it on my wrist. Wherever you have some pain, that red light works fantastic. The second thing we have at our house is an infrared sauna. Now, the way that I'm using the infrared sauna is with a cold plunge. Now, a cold plunge is an area of water that's super cold that we can get into and stay in to cool our body down quickly. So I will get into the infrared sauna at about 142 degrees. It's a lot lighter a temperature than it would be if it was just a pure sauna that is not infrared but uses just ambient temperature, and a very hot ambient temperature at that, to get into our bodies. The infrared really helps penetrate deeply, and it doesn't use as much heat to do that. Now, the trick is I keep my cold plunge at 53 degrees. The cold plunge that I have is a very large chest freezer that I sealed and converted into a cold plunge. 53 degrees is a bit chilly, and our bodies don't want to get into that 53 degree water. So just like I do by getting up off the couch on a Saturday when I'm feeling yucky and I want to get some energy and exercise to push away that wave of yuck that comes with chemotherapy, in the cold plunge, as I'm about to get into it, I say out loud to myself, I chose to get into cold water. And I'll say that 3 times as I get in. And because of that, I'm psyching myself up to get into that cold plunge. Yesterday, I did 10 minutes in the cold plunge at 53 degrees. It really helped my legs recover from 2 days of biking. I biked both Wednesday and Thursday, and the cold plunge does a fantastic job of reducing inflammation, reducing pain, and also the cold shock proteins that come out with that. And I'd urge you to research the benefits of a cold plunge combined with the benefits of the hot sauna. The heat shock proteins that come out just make me feel like $1 million. And that's why I tell people I'm getting stronger through chemotherapy. Where most people have a problem with chemotherapy, and then they get the next chemotherapy and it's an even bigger problem, and then it continues to build and accumulate. I've had a different experience. My chemotherapy made me feel a little yucky, And then I felt great again. And I got back to not only the baseline, but I actually felt better. And then I had chemotherapy number 2, and I had a shorter period of time of yuck. And then I've come back to feeling amazing. That is, I'm guessing, what the rest of the 4 sessions are going to be. So next Wednesday, I'll have chemotherapy session number 3, and I'll be 50% of the way done, halfway done with chemotherapy. And my mind is mentally strong. My body is physically strong. My support group is really tightly connected. My wife is doing an amazing job supporting me. Our children are giving me all of the energy in the world and keeping me busy to play basketball with them here. We went to the Harlem Globetrotters last night. That was amazing. And I was going up and down the steps at the new Moody Center, and I wasn't getting winded. In fact, people were looking at other people coming up and breathing heavily, and I got to the top and it didn't even faze me. So my body is super strong, but we have to have a good support group, a good mental attitude, and a good physical body to bring to this, to have the least number of side effects from chemotherapy. So in a moment, I'm going to talk to you about my morning routine. So stay tuned. The sponsor for today's Fit for Any Battle podcast is Feelalytics. With Feelalytics, I can generate different versions of video content, have a select group of people review it, and give me real-time feedback on which parts of it work and which don't to determine which content to publish for my podcast. With Feelalytics, it saves me tons of time on production and other costs because I know which content works for which people. So, go today to Feelalytics.com and check it out. So let's talk about my morning routine. Every night, I am going to the gym at 9 p.m. to work out, or I'm going on a bike ride at 7 p.m., and that means that my exercise is coming at the end of the day. That makes it a challenge to get to sleep, because after 3 hours of biking or after an hour at the gym, I'm still a little pumped up and excited and having a hard time reducing my activity level and getting to bed. So let me tell you about the things that I'm doing to change my sleep cycle. When I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do is get clothes on and walk our kids to school. Walking the kids to school without sunglasses means that I got that direct sunlight, and that sunlight coming into my eyes is resetting my circadian rhythms. So that way my day starts earlier in the day, and our body will generate melatonin automatically about 16 hours after that first bit of sunlight. And so previously, where I would let my wife take the kids to school and I'd walk downstairs, come into my office and not see sunlight directly until about 1 p.m., I'm now getting it about 7:15 to 7:20 every morning for at least 20 minutes. The next thing I'm doing in the morning is I turn on the sauna before we go and drop the kids off at school. And so by the time I come back, that infrared sauna is warmed up and I get in there and I de-stress. I close my eyes, I do some meditation, I do some really good breathing work, and I listen to a podcast, typically something on kinesiology, physical fitness, something of that nature, to really tie me to my day from a physical activity perspective. Then I open up the cold plunge. I tell myself 3 times I'm choosing to get in cold water. I get in the cold water. I chill myself, jump back into the hot sauna for a bit, go take a shower, and I'm ready for the day. And I feel amazing during the day. We really have to jumpstart our day with really good activities for us to really crush every single day as if it was our last. The morning walk activates my brain. The morning cold plunge puts the right chemicals into my body for me to feel less stressed. And as a result, each day is getting better and better. I would encourage you, if you are having to go through chemotherapy, radiation, or any other types of therapeutics for cancer, whether it be prostate cancer, whether it be something else, I would encourage you, number one, to, as soon as you're diagnosed, make sure that your workout regimen is dialed in and a habit. We don't want to fall off the habit because that wave of yuck is going to come and catch us. If you are watching this and you don't have anything going on from a health issue, get your workout dialed in, build a strong body in preparation for a future health battle. And in fact, I'd recommend you look at Fit for Any Battle, fitforanybbattle.com, or you can find the book in the Amazon or other bookstores. There's a mobile app that is a companion app to it that will allow you to go to the gym and have it tell you everything that you need to do. And before you know it, you'll be rocking and rolling with a dedicated habit. Now, I was doing some research the other day, and habits can take up to 66 days to form. That's why people that have a New Year's resolution, the gyms get really packed in January. By February, the gyms are really light. People have given up. However, if somebody stays past February, the people that are there March 1st through 10th, those are the people that have formed a habit, and they'll be there November and December by the end of the year, and they'll continue on, and they'll watch the cycle of people come and go, but this will be a consistent habit, and I hope that you make that a habit for you too. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'll be having chemo on Wednesday, hitting the 512 Wheelie Crew ride that night, and then the next night I'll be hitting the Captex Cruiser ride, and then I'll record a podcast and let you know how things go. I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Fit for Any Battle podcast. Prostate cancer is no joke, and each week I'm going to be giving you a quick look into the world of how it goes for treatment and recovery. So don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button to get those weekly updates.